YouTube Live today. I am part of Zenfolio Customer Success. You might have seen my face last week. Robert is actually out of town this week, so I will be covering for him today. So if you have a chance, if you want to leave us a comment in either YouTube or Facebook, feel free to go ahead and do that. Let us know what you're looking forward to this weekend and where you're from. So let's take a look here. Oh, congratulations to Thea Maddox. She said they booked another wedding out of state today, so great job, Thea. Proud of you. Now, just to jump into some email questions here. In the meantime, go ahead and feel free to leave your own comments in the chat on Facebook or YouTube. So let's see. This person says, I'm working on a custom page, but every time I hit enter on my keyboard, it creates a double space in the text instead of a single space. This is driving me crazy. I can understand. This is something that is kind of standard formatting in places like Microsoft Word, for example, so we have continued that over into Zenfolio. But the way to avoid that, I can show you real quick. If we go into a custom page, I'll create a new one. And come down here. So this is line 1, and this is line 2. So I hit enter in between these, and you'll see it just creates a pretty big space. Now, if I back this up and I hit shift enter, it'll put it directly underneath that. So it'll look a lot better. Just remember to hit shift and then enter to create a new line instead of a new paragraph. That'll be the way to get around that. So let's see here. Another email user asked, what is client access and how should I use it? So client access is kind of like a landing page for your clients to come in and find their galleries without having to scroll through all of your galleries. They'll just enter a quick keyword, and we call this a gallery ID. It's just a unique ID to take them directly to their gallery without having to search through. So there's nothing wrong with just sending them a link to their gallery instead. But emails can get lost, and their keyword may stick out in their mind better than, having to go back and find a link. So as long as you make that keyword friendly and recognizable, they can come back to your site anytime as long as you keep that gallery available. So there is one thing that we do see a little bit of confusion about. I can show you that. That is the difference between password protection and client access. It can get a little bit tricky there. So let's take a look. If I go into the photos section here, we can go into a gallery, and I'll show you exactly how to set up client access. I'll go into my clients folder, and we'll go to the Smith gallery. Okay, so down in the bottom right, we're going to scroll down until we see sharing and client access. When you click here, there will be a place to enter a gallery ID, which I've done here. It says Smith 2016, and this is the code that someone would enter on the actual client access page. This is a little bit different than entering just a regular password, which is done in gallery access above that. You can go to locked with a password and enter an actual password there. The difference between these two, let me set that back to public, is that if you use a client access keyword gallery ID, it's not actually going to password protect your images, unfortunately. If you want to be sure that they are 100% safe, you're going to want to add a password. Because like you can see here, Smith 2016 might be a little guessable if you had the Jones family as Jones 2016 for a different gallery. They might say, oh, I know she shot the Smith family recently. So I guess you just want to keep that code as something recognizable and the password as something unrecognizable to truly protect your images. Okay, so let's see here. So Vaughn Felix says, the only thing that kills me is the mobile version of your site. I feel it's really sloppy, and swiping the images across after clicking to a full screen image seems like the images move all over the place. I totally understand where you're coming from here, Vaughn. I guess even if you use a grid layout or something like that, it will switch to that slideshow. And any feedback you have, you can definitely feel free to submit that in our user voice forum. I'll see if I can provide a link to that for you, so that'll be available to you. And any suggestions you have about how we could switch up the mobile experience, definitely let us know, because we're always interested in your feedback and making changes that will work for all users. Okay. So I have another question here from email. This person said, my customer just selected favorites, and I've never used this feature before. What are the favorites used for? So that's a great question, because this is an awesome feature that we offer. Let me show you how to use this. So if we go into Customize Website View here, you'll first want to just make sure that the favorites feature is turned on. And to do that, we'll go into Site Settings in the bottom left corner, and we'll go to the Favorites tab. And you'll just want to check that you have it set to allow visitors to add favorites. You may also want to keep these boxes checked to allow the visitor to share their favorites with you and with other people. So some photographers will use this feature to allow the customer to communicate with them, what sort of images they'd like edited, which ones they'd like turned into black and white, which one you want your stray hairs removed from, things like that. I like to keep this feature in my own Zenfolio account just so that the customer can narrow down their choices from their gallery a little bit. They are able to order directly from their favorite set as well. So let's take a look through the portfolio. I believe it is turned on in this portfolio. And here we should see a little heart in the corner on the images. Maybe not. Let's open up this Smith gallery. I believe it's turned on in there. Here we go. And it's turned off here too. But that's okay. We can figure this out. Normally there would be a heart in the corner. And when this heart is clicked, you can actually add a favorite. I do have a favorites list up here, so I'll just go into that to show you. You can just click on this, and you can always, go back in and create a new set if you want to. This one's just broken up into two, and you can kind of scroll through and look and see what gallery this came from, the photo name. You can hit this little drop down to download. If there's an option to buy, you'll be able to do that here too. And let's take a look. If you want to share favorites, you can click Share Favorites up in the upper right. And this one's already been shared, but normally you would be able to share with the photographer. And again, this can just communicate something to the photographer, or they can just tell you, hey, these were my favorite ones. So you can kind of get a pat on the back for doing a good job on those. And they can also share with their friends and family. This can be really important. If you want their friends, grandma, grandpa, aunt, and uncle to be able to come in and order these images, you'll definitely want to keep the share to a friend feature on. It will give them just the favorite set, of course, not the entire gallery. And when they collaborate with friends and family on the set, the friends can add, remove, and rearrange photos. So, if grandma says like, oh, this one's the best one, I'm going to move it to #1, and then we'll be good to go. So that is pretty much the basics of the favorites. We do actually have an awesome help guide article that you can share directly with your visitors. It's fine-tuned to provide instructions to visitors instead of to you. And it'll show them exactly how to use this favorites feature and get started with it. Okay. So let's see. Lynn Cobb says, I divide my jobs by year, 2016, 2017. All my jobs in my 2016 folder show up on my home page. But now that I have created 2017, I cannot figure out how to get that to show up on my home page. So, Lynn, I guess it's kind of hard to do this, of course, without seeing exactly what you're seeing. But I can kind of give you a hint here so we can take a look what might be going on. So I'm going to go back into Customize Website View and go to my home page here. Now, if your images are just using the 2016 images and you want to show a combination of both, you could just create a new gallery and drag images, I guess, to that new gallery folder, copy them over from both 2016 and 2017. If you wanted to also, you could do a grid style layout. So let me show you that. If we switch to a grid style layout, we can actually go in and provide a link to 2016 and a link to 2017. So when you select your gallery, we'll go up here, and you see I have 2016 here, but you could actually put 2016 and 2017 in one group and select that, and then both 2016 and 2017 would show up on your homepage. And then if that did not answer your question and you have some more specific concerns, definitely feel free to reach out to us. We are able to be contacted right here at zenfolio.com/contact. And just put YouTube Live in the subject line, and we'll be happy to help you a little further. Okay, so another email question just came in. This person said, I'm new to Zenfolio, where do I get started? So every person does have different needs when it comes to Zenfolio, but in general there are 3 steps you'll want to take. One is going to be actually adding your content. And of course on my demo site here I've kind of got things set up already. But when you first get here, the very first thing you're going to want to do is actually upload your images. So the first thing you'll do is just create some groups and galleries. You can do that by going into the All Photographs group, clicking New, going to Gallery, Collection, Group. You might see Event if you're at the Advanced account level. So definitely check that out. There is plenty of information in the support guide, articles about photo organization too. So if you have any further questions on that, definitely let us know. But once you actually have some galleries created, you can upload into those. So just to give you a quick upload tutorial, I'll go ahead and create a gallery. Let's name this Kayla's Test. And I'm going to go in here and upload some images. So once I come in, I'll see the gallery is indeed empty. I can click Upload here at the top, or I can go to Add Photos and Video. And once I'm here, I can drag and drop images, or you can actually go into your, your files in your computer and add those in manually. So I am going to go to my folder here. I'm just going to upload some quick engagement photos. We'll just upload a couple. And so now you'll see exactly which ones you're about to upload. It will show you the file name and size, and it will let you know that they are ready to go. You can check and see how much storage this is going to require in total as well, which is pretty nice, and the amount of files in total as well. So I will start that upload. And this should not take long at all. Sometimes it can take a little longer if you do have some large TIFF files or just large JPEGs in general or RAW files. But typically, you know, Zenfolio has been pretty fast. So, and once you have those uploaded, you should be good to go. You can move that gallery you just created into a group if you're interested by clicking the little arrow down here and going to Move. And then if I wanted to move it into 2016, for example, I could move that there. Okay. So after you get your images actually uploaded, you might want to take a look at adding logos. And that can be done back in the Customize Website view. And there are a ton of different places that you can actually upload logos. So in order to upload just on your home page, you'll want to check and see if you have the homepage logo actually set to show. If you do, you can go down to the Logo tab. And this is all in the page options. You can go to Upload Logo Image, choose the file, and once it's in there, you will be able to click Upload and then Apply. If you are using the regular old page header, you'll actually want to go down to Site Header in the bottom left corner. And once here, you can go to the logo section here and do the exact same thing. This one can be scaled down a little bit. You can set it to not resize at all. And you can change the vertical and horizontal padding on this, so there is a little bit more fine tuning you can do with this too. In addition, you can do the same exact thing with the site footer. I will set the logo to show, and then you'll see the logo tab. And lastly, in the site settings, you can upload a mobile logo as well. And again, that's just going to work the same exact way. You'll choose the file, upload it, and apply. All right, guys. I am going to be right back. I'm going to adjust my microphone just a little bit, so give me just one moment, please. Alright guys, sorry about that. So after you actually get all of these logos uploaded in the correct places, you can head into Customize Website View, just like I am here, and actually begin to configure your home page. With the home page, you can put a spotlight on your work, you can move around your layout and themes, and edit your site menu. So you'll see here I already have a site menu going, but if you ever wanted to start from scratch, you can delete the ones that show up automatically by hovering over the item, clicking the pencil icon, and choosing Remove. Now I don't want to remove my home page though, so I'm just going to close out of this. And if you want to create a brand new item, you can hit plus new, title this whatever you want, and then you can point it to the appropriate place. You can create a drop-down menu, point it to a gallery, built-in page, external web page, or a PDF. And again, you can select a layout up here. We have a ton of different layouts available for you. Some of my favorite ones are the classic ones because you can put a slideshow in here that is transparent and you can adjust the size of it and have it not crop into your photos at all. So just for the sake of an example here, I'll go ahead and select that. And we'll apply the classic with top menu A. And unfortunately that logo is white, so this would be a good example for when you need to come in and switch your theme up a little bit. So if you wanted to switch your theme, you can go to Themes at the top. Currently I'm using one of the preset ones that was edited a little bit, but we can go up and choose something with a little more color, for example. So I'll just choose this one. You can always create your own new one just from scratch by going to More and Create New too if you're interested. Okay, so now you'll see a purple background, yellow logo, display text, and now things can be seen a little bit more clearly. So just keep in mind, we do have a ton of awesome preset Zenfolio themes you can choose from. And again, you can select your own and just create one from scratch as well. And after you get everything set up in Customize Website View like you'd like, you might want to do some fine tuning. These include things like setting up your own custom domain and setting up selling. And if you have any questions about how to do these specific things, just feel free to ask in the chat, or we can look at some more specific elements with you in the contact window, which again, the contact information can be found right here at zenfolio.com/contact. All right. So the next question I had via email. This person says, I run my business with my business partner, and we also provide access to our accountant, assistants, and a lot of other people. Giving them access to all of my records makes me nervous. I completely understand. So is there a way to give them their own account with only access to certain elements of my site? So yes, there is. There is a feature that we call multi-user accounts, and at this time it is only available at the advanced account level. So if that is something you're interested in and you're not at that level, you can upgrade at any time and receive a prorated discount. So just to show you a little bit more about this feature, let's go into the settings back in the dashboard. So I'll go to Settings up here and Account. And you can scroll down to Manage Users. And once you're here, you can create a new user. You can enter their full name. We'll say this is John Smith. His email is johnsmith@gmail.com. And you'll create a username for them. And you will also be able to choose their role. Now, the role itself, there are a lot of different ones, but this is how you will provide access to only certain parts of your website. And it may be true that you have a photographer working for you who you just want to have full access to your site. So even though they're a photographer, you may make them a partner. Just as an example, the actual roles don't necessarily have to go with their role in your company. Just what sort of access you want to allow them. So all of the details are listed here, and they kind of go down in line of what gives the most access to the least access. So let's say that John Smith is your assistant. So we'll choose assistant, and again, just you'll have a warning at the bottom. It will allow them to view all photos, private and password protected ones. If we choose photographer, same thing. So you just got to be aware that sometimes you will be providing access to some important documents, and you might want to make it so they can't see that or can't see that. And whenever you're done, you can go to continue. And once here, you're actually going to send them an activation email to get their account started. And once you can take a look at this, there is one just kind of set up by default that tells them, hey, you're my accountant, and this is exactly what you'll be able to do. But you can add some additional text in here as well. And you can send that activation email whenever you're ready. So it'll tell you it has been sent. And now this will take us back to the Manage Users section, where we can check on the status. And of course, since John Smith is not real, he will be waiting for activation for quite some time. You can go back in and add as many people as you want, up to 30 users. And you can also go back down to edit ownership once you have a couple of these going. And you can actually change the ownership for specific people. Now, since John Smith is the accountant, he's not going to be able to see anything anyway. But if you had an assistant, you could come in here and make it so they saw everything in 2016 and nothing else. Just as an example. And you can always hit save there. So the multi-user account feature can be really cool. You just got to be very careful with those permissions, of course. Okay. So the next email question that I have, I want to use my own lab to fulfill orders. Is that not possible through Zenfolio? So while we do offer a ton of awesome partner labs, you can use your own preferred lab if you'd like. This can be done through the use of self-fulfilled products. And it may sound a little confusing since, self-fulfilled, but you wouldn't actually be fulfilling these yourself. You can just send an order over to a lab as self-fulfillment. So the client can place an order for the products through your Zenfolio page and provide you with all the details for their shipping, go ahead and pay you, and then you'll just go to the lab and place the order for them. So for self-fulfilled products, let's take a look at how to do that. We'll go into selling at the top here. I'm just going to click on the word selling itself to go to the landing page. And I'm going to go down to self-fulfilled products. And once this loads, I'm sure there will be quite a few here, but we're just going to create a brand new one. It's thinking about it anyway. There we go. Yeah, so there are some here as an example, but I'm just going to create a brand new self-fulfilled product. And let's say that you want to offer an 8x10 product through your preferred lab. So you can give this a title. You can say 8x10 glossy print. You can also add an internal product ID as well. This is just for internal purposes. This is not going to be displayed to the customer. But if the 8x10 product does have a number in your internal system, or maybe even the lab's internal system, you can enter that here just to kind of keep record. You can also choose to offer a photo or video. In this case, I am just adding a 8x10 photo, and I'll provide a little description here. So I'll say 8x10 photo on glossy Kodak paper. You can add any sort of other details there if you wanted to tell them exactly what lab this is coming from, or even give a shout out to your local preferred lab. You can just tell them exactly what is involved with this product here. And if you scroll down, you can choose the currency. I'm just going to leave this in US dollars, but you can sell self-fulfilled products in our, I think, our top 5 currencies. And we actually have some other kind of lesser used ones. So you could do this in Danish kroner, for example. We have a lot of random ones. Now your base cost, that is just going to be for you and you alone. This is not the charge that will be sent to the site visitor, the purchaser. This is just for your tracking purposes. So if an 8x10 is going to cost you specifically $2 to make per paper, in that case you would make this $2 just for tracking purposes. But personally, I like to leave this at 0 so I know exactly how much profit I'm getting and my base cost does not get subtracted from that. You can also choose what category you'd like to put these in. Other products is the one that comes up in general, but you could actually put this in the prints category if you wanted to. And with an 8x10, you might put that in small or medium. So I can select all of these and it will go into all of these categories. You can then add a preview image if you wanted to take a photo of an 8x10 that you've received from that lab, just to show the quality of it. And you can re-upload that image in the large preview image. The number of items required is only going to deal with me, or my specific option here. With an 8x10, I probably only need 1, but if I wanted to make a collage on an 8x10, you could make that 5. And they could choose anywhere from 1 to 5 images to print. I'm just going to leave that at 1 for now. You can choose to offer a minimum resolution and required aspect ratio and cropping for this. And you can choose shipping as well. The shipping will be set up back in the self-fulfilled product tab. For this, I'm just going to choose that it has no shipping though. And I will click save. And once you actually add that to your price list, you can set the price there and just go ahead and begin selling it. And when the order comes through, the payment is actually going to be a little bit different. We're going to go into settings to set this payment up. The payment will not go through Zenfolio itself. You can actually, we will transfer the funds for you, but the payment will not go into your Zenfolio account balance per se. So if I go into selling, I can go to collecting payments. And here, I will be given the option to do no payment collection, which would just mean that you're going to collect payment directly from people. So maybe if you have a studio, someone could come in and pay you directly just with a check or cash. You could also do PayPal. And with PayPal, you just need to enter your email address that you want for the PayPal account, which PayPal account you want it to go into. And there are instructions here as well if you need some help with that. And at the advanced account level, you can actually use a merchant account so that the user does not have to leave your Zenfolio account at all to pay for their order. And this would allow them to use just a regular credit card, not have to use PayPal at all. And we allow for Authorize.net to be used and PayPal Payments Pro. So that is the basics of getting your self-fulfilled product set up, but if you do have any further questions about this, definitely give us a shout out in chat. Now it looks like I do have a question from Sharks. Nice to see you again on here. He asked, can I offer a coupon to my clients? And this is totally possible in Zenfolio, and it's actually a really good way to entice people to buy as well. So let's take a look at how to set up a coupon. If I go into selling at the top here, I can go down to coupons and campaigns. And you'll see there are a ton in here already. It looks like Sharks might have asked about this again, but let's go over this one more time. So I'll go to Add New Coupon. Once here, I can choose to create an individual coupon or a campaign. And the campaign is available, I think, only at the advanced account level. So you might only see the individual option. But with the campaign, it is a little bit different. You would kind of be creating a large campaign of coupons that you would provide to multiple people. An individual coupon is going to be a little bit different because it is going to be for one specific customer. In this case, I'll just say that I'm providing one to Sharks himself. So let's say I want to give Sharks a 20% discount. And so I will name this 20% discount for Sharks. Now, it is a little bit different from the actual coupon code. The code could be something like Sharks 20. And that'll be the actual code that he will enter in. And in the description section, I might specify exactly what this is for. I might say it's only 20% off of digital products. So let's take a look at that. 20% off digital products only. So I'm going to scroll down here to the coupon value section and actually discount the percent. We'll make that 20. You can also choose up to how much money they can get a discount for. You might just want to leave this at 0, or you could make a cutoff of $100, for instance. You can also do shipping if you'd like, but I recommend not doing this because discounting the shipping can get a little bit tricky. When I come down to applicability, I did say this was only going to be on digital downloads. So I am going to uncheck all of these. And if I'm doing this just for Sharks, I might select his gallery in particular. I could go into Clients, find Sharks, we'll say that this is his, and hit Select. But if you want to leave this available to him for all galleries, you can also do that too. You can provide a maximum number of uses, so we could make this 1 if we just wanted a one and done, one-time use. You can create a start date. So, for example, if you didn't want this to be available until tomorrow, you could do the 24th. You can set an expiration date for that as well, so maybe it ends on Monday after the weekend. And select an order minimum. So let's say he has to spend $20 to receive 20% off. And then you will hit save. And so all you'll need to do now is give Sharks that Sharks 20 coupon, and just let him know exactly what that is for and how long it will be applicable for. Okay, so I do see that Thea asked another question. Is there a way to take money for sessions on Zenfolio? And like we mentioned before, that tutorial is actually being released tomorrow on our channel, but I will give you a little sneak peek at how to do that. So this would be done through self-fulfilled products. We already touched on this a little bit, but what you can do is actually set up a sitting fee, for example. So let's do a new product. And I won't go through all the details this time, but we could call this 1 hour photo session. You could come in here to the description and say exactly how many images you promise, the details of where the shoot would occur. You could even kind of sell them on your personality a little bit in this description. Again, your base cost for the actual shoot, you could include your gas mileage in this, exactly how much you're going to have to pay for that, any equipment rental, things like that. But again, I just like to leave that at 0. And once you've got that set up, the next important thing is the number of items required. It does sound a little bit funky here. Since you are actually doing a service as a product, you will have to give them an image to buy technically. But that image could just be a little infographic that just says 1 hour photo shoot. So we'll get into that in a second. Maybe it'll make more sense in a little while. So this won't be important since the image is not important and we are just selling a service. And of course, we will not be shipping a service, so the shipping or this product has no shipping. And we'll go to save. Okay. So once this product is created, we can go into the photo section. And you'll want to upload, like I said, some sort of infographic or image that just represents the 1 hour shoot. So I will create a new gallery. I'll just name this 1 hour shoot. I'm going to grab an image from here. I don't have an infographic ready, but I'm just going to copy one of my favorite ones over to this gallery. Once that's done copying, I can go back into the gallery. and open up 1 hour shoot. And we'll go into the gallery details here. You can give this a title. 1 hour shoot is probably the best thing you can say. And in the caption, you can give those same details you gave in the description a little bit. So I would say 1 hour photo shoot with Kayla at such and such park. You will receive a download of 20 images and can pay for more. Just something along those lines to let them know exactly what they're purchasing here. Then we can click done. All right. Don't know why that changed. Oh, this is for the photo. I was doing it for the gallery, but either way, totally fine. So once this is actually created, you will need to put that self-fulfilled product on a price list and assign this price list to this image in this gallery. So we will go to price list here, create a blank price list. I'll name this 1 hour shoot. And we'll go to add products. And I'm going to make this just the photography page here. Go to other products and choose this 1 hour photo session. And let's say that this is going to cost, we'll go with $200. Okay, and there is a service fee for self-fulfilled products, so that will show up here and show you exactly how much profit you'll get. But the base price, if you didn't add one to the self-fulfilled product, it will just show up as 0. Now we can click Save and Assign. And once we're here, we'll assign it to that 1 hour shoot gallery and hit Save. So now let's go back into the gallery itself and look at how this will look to the customer. I'm going to go into Preview. So if someone contacted you and they said, I want to do a photo shoot with you, you could just go ahead and send them a link to this gallery specifically and just tell them to go to the 1 hour shoot gallery and hit Buy. Once they're in the Buy area, they can just click Add here. And now that session is in their cart. They'll pay the $200 and it will be placed either in PayPal or they'll pay through a merchant account and you will be all set. Okay, so Up Your Aperture, nice name, said, can I sell non-related products or photography products on Zenfolio? And this is totally possible. We have a lot of users actually who sell jewelry is something I've seen. We have a couple of bed and breakfasts even. You can kind of, I guess, sell anything through Zenfolio, really. So let's take a look at what you would do there. Again, real fun. This is going to be another self-fulfilled product, but with this, it's going to be a little bit different. So back in the self-fulfilled product section, this is going to be a little bit similar to the actual sitting fee thing we just did. In this case, though, let's say that you are selling a piece of jewelry. And you have various photos of jewelry in a gallery. Once we hit Add Product, we can, maybe let's say there's a necklace you want to sell. You can say necklaces are 15, rings are 10, something along those lines, and create all of those products here. But again, we do have to attach the products to a price list, which is then attached to the gallery. So it's a good idea to, just put all of those items on one price list and assign that price list to that gallery. So when you're creating this product, again, you'll just want to give it a quick title like necklace. You give it an internal product ID, which might be more important for something like this. Give it a description. You could say any necklace is $15. And you could even describe the way it was made or whatever you wanted to do there. You could include your base cost, but again, like to leave that as 0. You can create a different category for this to go into if you wanted. There are tons and tons there. You can upload the image of it. You can choose the number of items required. Again, in this case, it would just be 1. And with shipping, you probably do want to actually ship something like this out, but if you're choosing to offer a service like a bed and breakfast, like I mentioned, you might want to do no shipping. So whatever you feel is appropriate there. All right, and guys, I do want to let you know we only have 20 minutes left, so if you do have any more questions, just be sure to put them in the chat in YouTube or comments on Facebook. And just to continue here, we would now go into the price list. We would add necklaces, you would create more products for rings, anything really. And just assign that to a gallery of photos, very similar to what we just did with that photo session. Okay, so we have another question here. This is from Sharks again. He said, is there any way I can get someone to critique my site? I signed up a long time ago and might need a makeover. So we will absolutely do that for you. Even if you're a non-Zenfolio user, it might be a little more complicated for us, but we can definitely critique your site and let you know what sort of features you might be lacking. We can let you know, like, hey, this theme might not work. You might want to make this a little more clean. Let you know, hey, this logo's in the wrong place. Maybe we need to update that. Just various aspects like that. And if you're looking for a specific look, we can even kind of help you along with that too. So if you're interested, just feel free to contact us again at zenfolio.com/contact. And we have another question now again from Up Your Aperture. He says, where does the product from your orders go? So it kind of depends. We can take a look real quick. So if you are doing self-fulfilled products, again, this would be back in selling under the settings. And once we're here, we'll go to collecting payments to decide exactly where that's going to go, either PayPal or a merchant account. But if you are selling just products from our vendors, digital products, anything besides self-fulfilled products really, in that case, the profits are going to be placed in your Zenfolio account balance. And you can view that at any time under billing and account statement. And I don't know if we'll have any here. Okay, we do. So you can take a look at the total credits and charges up until this date and your ending balance in the most recent area. It'll probably be at the bottom if you've had multiple. That'll be the balance that you have in your account. And you can request a payout of those funds at any time. You could do it with 1 cent if you wanted. You could do it with $1 million, whatever you want to do there. And when we go to request that payment, you'll want to make sure that you have your tax applicability filled out first. Lots of information there. And the payout method at the bottom, there are different payout methods. You can do direct deposit. That is only for the United States, though, unfortunately. We used to do pay by check, so you might see this option available if you're on an older account, but unfortunately is no longer offered. And you can do a payment via PayPal. And all we'll need to know is your PayPal payout if you're on PayPal, your direct deposit information if you'd like to do that, and choose the amount you'd like to deposit. And then just hit continue and walk through the rest of the steps and you'll be good to go. Okay, so let's go back to the dashboard here. All right, so I just got another question. You'll have to forgive me if I pronounce this wrong. Manjit just asked, what is the difference between a group, gallery, and collection? And that is a great question because people kind of get confused about this often. So let's take a look at what we can do to organize our photos. If we go into the photo section here, you can go to new, and you will get a little description of what each of these are. We'll ignore events for now just because those can get a little complicated and are only available at the advanced account level. And we'll just start with groups because they're the top level. So a group is kind of like a folder that holds multiple galleries or collections. And the groups themselves can also hold other groups. So just as an example, you would make a group for 2017. Then have weddings in a group inside of that, portraits in a group inside of that. And, just keep going down folder by folder, creating groups. And when you actually get to the level where you want to upload photos, you will create a collection or gallery. And a gallery is just, what you're typically used to seeing. It'll just hold uploaded photographs. But a collection can hold links to photos by you and others. So, I guess it's interesting to use a collection. You can move photos around. Let me show you here. I think we have, no collection, but I'll go ahead and create one so I can show you. So I could put one image from here into a collection if I wanted to. I think I can do it here. I'm going to move, actually, we'll copy that. Oh no, it's not going to show. Let's go into the collection itself then. Trying to find the add to collection button, but once you actually find that, you would normally just choose add to collection. There it is. I think I missed that before. So once we go to add to collection, it will bring that up. We can hit add. We can go into a different gallery with different access settings and do the same exact thing. So now I have multiple images in this collection, and one of them is going to be password protected and one is not. So, you know, this is good for when you have galleries with multiple settings and want to make them keep those same settings without changing them by putting them in a gallery. Okay, so back to our chat. Let's see. Thea asks, can you go over the taxes and how that works for us as taxpayers? And what is Zenfolio's role when it comes to tax? I see we did provide that sales tax article to you, so definitely give that a read because it is very important. You know, taxes are one of those things, if you do it wrong, it is not good. And, you know, Zenfolio is not a tax professional source at all. We will help you collect sales tax, but we can't really give advice on whether you need to collect it or not. But I can tell you that in California, since that is where our headquarters are located, we will collect sales tax for you in California automatically by law. And I can show you where you can add sales tax for other states if you're interested, and your local tax authority does let you know that that is important to have. So if we go into the settings, we can go to selling, and then we'll go to sales tax. I'm just going to think about it a second. Okay, so once we're here, we can choose whether we want to collect that or not. I think by default it is turned off, and you can turn it on. Once you come in here, you can choose exactly which states you want to charge sales tax in. So it looks like we have Alabama checked here, for example. You can do this based on the shipping destination, your zip code, or a custom area. So we could say, you know, if your tax percentage just got updated and we haven't had a moment to, I guess, go ahead and upgrade that in Zenfolio, you can go ahead and enter that custom tax percentage until that gets changed. But I'll go ahead and just say shipping destination. And you can choose exactly what that tax is going to be applicable for. So in this case, it would be vendor products, self-fulfilled products, and we can do digital. You can also include tax on the shipping, but in most cases that probably won't be necessary. And then you can hit save. And whenever someone comes in and orders with shipping to Alabama, they will be charged tax on any of these items. All right, and we do have about 10 minutes left, you guys, so definitely get those last minute questions in. I'm going to take this last one from Shark here. They say, I did a photo shoot of pecans for a company. That sounds interesting. What's the best way to invite them to see their gallery? So there is actually an invite tool in Zenfolio. So let's take a look at that. We go into the photo section. I don't have a gallery full of pecan sharks, I'm sorry, but we can go into a random gallery and kind of pretend that we want to send this to someone. I'll find one with a couple images in it here. So this is clearly people and not pecans, but same difference. If we wanted to send an invite to Dwayne and Justine, we can hit invite at the top here. And there are different email templates that you can create and select from. I'll show you where to do that in a moment. But we do already have a gallery invite template, so I would just select that. Go to now if I wanted to send the email right now, save as a draft and send later, or you can schedule that to send on a specific day if you want. You can also include a link to the mobile app experience. That's a whole nother topic, but we do have a mobile app called Photo Moments. And the customer can view from their mobile device and even download from there if you allow that. So you can include that link there if you'd like. You can keep your name as your business name, change to your personal name, and choose what email this is coming from. And now the to part is the most important part. You're going to want to send this to the, let's say, pecancompany@gmail.com. And you might want to change your invitation here, pecan photo shoot. And I guess it kind of pre-fills in depending on what you've got selected in your email template, but it will provide typically a link directly to the gallery. It'll include your business name and a quick hello to let them know what this email is for. You can hit preview, and it'll show a little bit of thumbnails for the images, which is pretty cool, and give them the message in that link. And if you'd like, you can also take your theme off of that, and it will just send the generic Zenfolio orange, gray, and white theme. And whenever you're ready, you would just click send, or you can go back and edit whenever you're ready. All right. So let's go back to chat. So up your aperture set, is this going to be available later if I need to review what was covered? And just like we said, this is going to be available. We will always leave up our Zenfolio live stuff so you can come back and review this later, because I know I go fast and you probably do not have time to take notes. So if you need us to repeat anything very quickly, definitely let us know, but you can always come back and revisit this. All right. So I do have one more question from an email, and I think this will probably be the last one. We'll have to see. This user wrote in, what is boutique packaging? I'm interested in potentially adding this on all of my orders. So just to give you a little bit of info, this is typically only available to advanced subscribers. It is kind of a bonus feature. The prints are shipped that are shipped with boutique packaging are placed in a really pretty cream box and packaged with cream-colored tissue as well for extra protection around the photos, and they're finished with a chocolate brown bow. So I don't really have a way to show you this at the moment, just because I don't have a test order in here, I don't think. Let me double check that though. I'll be able to show you. Aha, we do have one. So let me click on the order number here. I'll scroll down all the way to the bottom. And I don't think this one is available for the shipping. It does have to be with MPixLab, Miller's, or MPix Pro. So if it didn't come from there, then you might not see this option available, unfortunately. But I can show you, let me take a look here. I can show you a little picture of what this looks like. This is actually in our support guide. This is an article called Modifying Shipping Options and Charges. And adding boutique packaging is in here. So you can see a little picture of what this looks like. It's a really nice box compared to, just getting a standard envelope. And it is only available with overnight shipping. So this is going to be a really classy, nice, quick way to send your images to your customers. All right. So I do have another question in chat. Again, pardon me for the name mispronunciation. Sergi asks, do you archive messages sent to clients and can I review them later? Yes, you can. So let's go into the email communications area here. So if you go into communications here, I'm just going to click that in general so we can get to the landing page. This is going to take you to your contact list first, but you can go into the email communications tab. And once you're here, this is also where you'll find those templates I mentioned earlier, and you can customize those or create your own. But there is also a history tab here. So you can always go back and actually view the ones you've already sent and order them by date. So this one was sent quite a while ago, but I can still access that, see what time I sent it out, and exactly what that message said with the link included. So I hope that answers your question. Okay. So I have another email question. This person says, I have the premium account level and I don't see that my plan is offered anymore. What is the plan that is most comparable to my current plan? So that's actually a really great question, and that is one we have gotten often because we did change up our pricing a little bit, I think back in 2015 if I'm not mistaken, maybe 14. But once we changed those, we did not increase prices for our long-time loyal users. This is just new pricing available to new users. So even though you're at the premium account, you are grandfathered into that old price. So there's definitely no need to switch by any means, as you are, welcome to continue paying that discounted price. But if you'd like to, the newer Pro plan is the equivalent to the premium plan, just like the premium business plan is equivalent to the advanced plan. And there might be some features lost or gained depending on the exact plan. Like with premium business, you don't have phone support. With advanced, you will. Sometimes the service fees can vary a little bit. So definitely do your research and see if upgrading might be worth it to you, especially for phone support, because that is something I definitely recommend having. And for anyone questioning their plan level, you can find all sorts of information about that. And see where that is. I believe it's in more links. And we can go to features under the product section. I believe there's a compare section. It's hiding in here, but I'll give you a link in the chat. I have a little shortcut available to me here. And you can compare all of the plans here. The starter, pro, and advanced, it'll tell you the prices. That is another thing. We do have monthly plans available at these newer levels, and it'll tell you exactly what features are available at each level. Alright, so that link is in the chat if you want to take a look, and I think that'll cover that. Okay, so last question. This one is coming from Thea again. She asks, is there a plugin from Lightroom or Photoshop to Zenfolio? While Zenfolio doesn't actually make these plugins, we do offer some third-party ones that you can use. So I can show you exactly where to find those. I was actually back in that area I was just in. Let me hit the back button here. I believe this is in the toolkit at the bottom. So now we'll go to Toolkit, and we'll go to Uploading Tools. And the uploading tools will include these transfer tools. There is not one at this time that we support or mention on this page for Photoshop, but there is one for Lightroom. There's actually two for Lightroom, and one of which is from a guy named Jeffrey. You can check him out. He actually does the troubleshooting for this, and he's a really nice guy, so definitely recommend reaching out to him if you have any questions. And there's another one from New P Products. So if you visit their website, you can download those, and they have really detailed instructions for how to install. All right. And I guess we are about out of time, guys, but it's been really lovely chatting with y'all. If you have any additional follow-up questions, just be sure to send them to zenfolio.com/contact. You can put YouTube Live in the subject, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you have from here. So thanks for hanging out. Take care, and we'll see you next week.